Okay, thank you very much. Well, before anything, I really would like to be, I'm grateful with you and thankful because a Sunday afternoon you are using this time for joining us in this project. So first of all, thanks a lot. And even if you spoke a little bit in the last meeting about how this started, how the project developed, and how Guruji put this idea in our head in order to create this web, I really like to introduce you today, at least at the beginning, to these guys here. That is how this idea took form in the ashram. And the first person that I would like to give the word is to Kailash. He's there. He's my boss, my coordinator of the area of facilities. And so everything actually starts with him because he was part of the Sangha facilitator training. So I would like him to tell a little bit how it was for him, the starting of this. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, everybody. So for me, the whole story started one Sunday evening when Guruji invited us to a walk in the forest. And he asked me, what about your friends in South Switzerland, how they are doing? And then I said, well, I don't know actually. It's a long time that I lost contact with them. And yeah, so this was end of conversation basically. So 3 days later, one of these friends calls me, and this was one guy who was here first time in the ashram in Shivaratri this year, and he had an interview with Guruji, and Guruji materialized him a ring to his friend. So when they came back home to Switzerland, they started spread the message to their friends, and then I asked myself, well, these guys, they're even not devotees, and they are spreading Guruji's message everywhere where they can, and what am I doing? So the answer was, I'm doing nothing basically to spread Guruji's message around, let's say. And actually, my idea, one day when Guruji told me many years ago that he would send me back to my country, to Switzerland, and my plan was when I would be back home, let's say, in my country, I would go from group to group, from Om Chanting group to Om Chanting group, for example, and start new Sangha activities there. Because the groups, they meet basically only for doing Om Chanting and not anything else. So the idea was to activate a little bit these groups with new Sangha activities, and to go to fairs, to go to, let's say, to go outside. But all these approaches were more on a physical level. And then I seen in the last months with all these restrictions, so the travel restrictions, the social distancing and so on, this has made actually this let's say, this physical approach very much difficult compared to before. So I said, okay, what is the most efficient way how to spread Guruji's message in this present situation? And then I think, well, actually, the online opportunity, which is given by social media, is the best and most efficient way at the moment. And actually, I had for many years a deep aversion against Facebook and all social media. And then at this point, I had to reconsider my position and say, okay, let's set apart my preconceptions against social media, and let's do something. So I opened my Facebook account, and then I started inviting people to the online darshans. And so this is the beginning and the motivation which was behind my the reason why I joined the guys which were much more proficient than me in Facebook and cultivating, let's say, relationships with friends. And this is how, let's say, was my motivation to start this project.
Yeah, I mean, Kailas, the most important thing about him, I think, is that as a facilitator of a group, he made possible that these things grows up. Like he created all the atmosphere that his voice in facilities could start sending invitations outside. And that's why it's important to do it like in Sangha and with a person that is taking care of that environment. I think in this case, I think it's Narayani who will take care of the Sangha for you. That is a nice space where everybody comes together, even if we are not so actively in the social media, doesn't matter. It's just about creating a nice space where everybody can bring up the qualities that we have. So for example, Trivanath or Prabhakar, I would like Trivanath to share how he suddenly contact people in the social media. It's a nice story that he has.
So one day, we are in the morning meeting. And so daily we do a morning meeting. And so one day we are discussing about a satsang that Swami Niruddha gave. And where Guruji said two things. The first thing was that we don't listen as devotee. And the second thing is that we aim to less. So we could aim to much more in everything we do, in everything we, as a devotee, we aim always to less. And so this was the of the meeting. And then we said, and then Guruji was really happy with a devotee from Portugal. Her name is
Ana Bravo.
Yeah, so she's a blogger, she's a dietist and so on. She gives regular interview on television. And she's not a devotee, but yet she doesn't have a problem to speak about Guruji in public. And she does a great job. And Guruji, in the bungalow and also publicly in the satsang, he was really happy with her. And so, inspired by that, we said, okay, what we can do. And what came out was, okay, we can invite people for darshan. That was kind of the easiest thing to do. And so everything started from there. And then we said, okay, let's give some numbers. And so let's say that each one of us would bring 5 people. And then one guy was like, but no guys, like we are aiming for less again. Let's say each one of us, let's bring like 50 people, otherwise we make the same mistake. And so this is how, let's say, the wave, how everything started. And so we started to invite friends. And for me, when this came up, I was a bit like, okay, I was not super enthusiastic, but I took the chance to invite my old schoolmates. So from high school and so on, because when I came here, I kind of cut every connection with them. And then I said, okay, this is the time to bring back those relationships and go on and invite them for something, give them something special. So when I started, actually, it was quite a frustration because I didn't really find anybody of them that really wanted to know. More like nobody was really interested. They were listening, but nobody was like, yes, I wanted, only few people. That's why I was a bit sad. And so then what I did, at one point, I started to invite actually people that I don't know, people that I never spoke to, people that I never saw in my life. And that was like the strategy that I started to use. And funny enough, for some reason, mysterious reasons, I found very successful like this kind of approach because I didn't know them, because there was not the friendship element that sometimes it's like an obstacle. I found out actually, sometimes the friendship can be an obstacle when you want to give something to somebody. But because there was not friendship, the people would accept in an easier way, what I wanted to give to them. And so just sharing a message that I received. So there was like, my friends on Facebook, there was one guy that actually I never met and I never spoke to. He's from New Zealand. And I just sent him like a very short message, really short. Like really nothing, not trying to convince anybody, just whatever. Like you take it, you don't take it, it's a problem, yeah? Just to let you know. And he said, so after the invitation, he told me this very beautiful message that I think is very inspiring. He said, yes, I have only just joined a few spiritual groups because of my newfound path I have taken. I'm studying Buddhism, as I mentioned, but I'm always open to new paths in life. I'm sure that there is good things in all religious belief, or there will not be a following. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, but I left as a young man. My sister studied Islam, so I have some insight to spirituality, but I'm curious to see what Hinduism is about. So you can count on me for Thursday, because Thursday was the darshan. And then he said, I will not guarantee you that I will stick to this path, but I will guarantee that I am curious to learn your ways and see what your ways are about. So thank you for reaching out to me. And if you could give me a time that I will need to be available, I'll make sure I am. I live in New Zealand, if that helps you with the time zone and so on. So you understand, this is like a random person that I contacted, no idea who he is. He doesn't know me, I don't know him. Just a short invitation. But yet, for some reason, something inside of him was touched by that. And so this was I started to do, and I started to contact more and more random people that I don't have idea, you know. And it was so nice to see how people are actually open to something like that, to Guruji. People actually are open to Guruji. And for me, it was also like actually a realization that I don't have idea about the people that actually they are ready or they are not ready, because I don't know, the beggar in the street can be the most open person to go to Guruji and to see him, you know. So this was actually super nice to see, and of course many other stories, but yeah, my 2 minutes finish, I guess. 5 minutes.
No, so you can see we have everything. Like my best friends was actually the most difficult. Almost my 3 best friends, almost any of them decide to try. But in the second circle of acquaintances, actually, many people joined. In my case, I got for the first 3 darshan more than 130 people to receive the blessings of Guruji. But yeah, the most close, as Trivena was saying, sometimes it's a barrier because they know you too much, they don't accept that you change. But in the second line of the acquaintance, actually was very easy. People immediately say like, oh yes, cool, thanks for thinking on me. But in this case of Danta, now, he has actually a good friend that said yes.
I'm just looking at you all. I'm looking forward to serving you coffee and cake when you come.
He's in the Baja Cafe, by the way. Befriend him. That's why he's in the group. He was like, we invite him.
Free chai at the end of the day. Okay, so I don't know obviously what you've been told, but I'm just here to tell my brief story. Basically, I had a friend in Australia who was a bit concerned about me, and obviously not the only one. I've had a few friends say to me, I'm worried about you, David. You're in the claws of a guru, you know, this is terrible, you know, and your world will fall apart, basically. And so I invited one of these friends to darshan, and I just want to read you her response after she received darshan. Let me find it, hang on, okay. So she said to me, you know, David, I was unsure of your friend, meaning Guruji, until tonight. I was afraid you might have been brainwashed and was concerned for you. Now, having looked in his eyes and feeling the love so pure, I'm no longer concerned about you. You're in a beautiful space of love. Tonight, I felt that. So it's just a beautiful way of, I mean, even if nothing comes for her darshan in terms of her movement towards Guruji, what it signifies is an acceptance, a greater acceptance, which is already a step along the path. And any change that she makes is a change that she also spreads to my other friends. So that's the story.
She works for you now.
She works.
She's doing the job.
So.
Yeah. So
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank
See
you.
guys. Ciao.
He needs to come back to the Bajan Cafe because there is a group there waiting for him. So, Nayani, do you mind to give me permission for sharing my screen?
I made you a co-host, so I think it should be good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Sorry, so we're all on mute, so you probably don't hear us laughing or giving feedback. But I think anyone that wants to say anything, just come off mute.
Yeah, I think you can raise your hand out, so there's an option in Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
So don't worry, even if there is a PowerPoint presentation, it looks super pro, but it's super simple and very short. So the first part that we just been going through is with people sharing their experience, what was for them. We had a lot more, but let's see, probably for the next meetings, we can bring one-to-one and share their experience personally, but for not doing of this a very long meeting, with 3 is okay. Of this that we just have said, to who are we inviting? It's personal contacts. Doesn't have to be your closest friends, your family. Of course, they could be, but it's not that line. Could be also acquaintances. Or even, like Triven have said, people that you didn't even know, that for some reason they're in your Facebook, in your Instagram. That you know how is social media. I have like 3,500 friends in Facebook. And from this, I think from the 130 that they received Darshan, maybe 70, I have never spoke with them. And I don't know, or probably, yeah, in friend of a friend, you know, I don't know. In Argentina, probably it's more easy. I don't know how it's in the UK. But don't feel shy to invite people that you don't know, because actually it's probably even easier for them and for you to accept the invitation. How do we work? We work in Sangha. And this is very important as we spoke before. When we come together for something and we put the intention in one place, for some reason, Guruji's grace manifests immediately. And we could see that with the residents, like when we came all together for doing this and enjoying and having a nice time and for a good purpose, like in less than 1 day, 1.5 days, 1,500 people submit for Darshan. That's unbelievable. But I think the real thing behind that is not that we are amazing or anything like that. We all know it's His grace. And for some reason, His grace is there when actually we are working together for that. The attitude, and this is very important because actually we didn't follow this at the beginning, and then Guruji actually came to tell us how to do it, to taking care. Like the people that you are inviting, please bear in mind at the beginning that somehow you are taking a little bit of responsibility towards that person, because that person may start their journey towards Guruji. We don't force them, of course, but if the person is interested and they want to know more, it's very important that we are there for them. And with this attitude of taking care, like for sure, I'm sure all of us, we are here because some responsible person took care of us. And because of that, we can be here today seated. Because it's also very easy to leave. When you come to Bhakti Marga and it's all of this crazy universe, sometimes you want to run away. And if you don't have the person that will answer your questions, it's very easy to step away, right? I would like to share you this video of Guruji. It's a short part of the presentation of the satsang that he had done the day that we present this gift to him, let's say. Then I will correct this comment, but let's say the day that we want to present this gift to him, he made this comment.
So, and that an opportunity that you are giving, now, like I said, Shasha said that the devotee role is to just pray and you have received that love, that joy that happens in this time. It's not about giving it to oneself, spread it. And I'm sure that the project that we have taken is a wonderful project. Keep carry on spreading that also every day.
So, in short, he said, keep doing it. That's the word that we took from this. And that's the motor that make us start thinking that we need to take this to the countries. And of course, the countries were already asking for it, like, please, whatever you're doing in the ashram, please bring it out with us. The direct link, the methodology that you were using. But actually what was more amazing of this is that, you know, since I shared this in the first meeting, since many years, Guruji is not like chilling out with the residents, spending time with the residents like a buddy, you know? He used to do it before, but for some reason he stopped. And the last time he had done it was in 2015, when the residents came together with an idea. I was not here at that moment, but he came there and he started like spending time with them, like one more of the group, super accessible. And it happened this time again, like 5 years later. And if you grab the mission and vision of Bhakti Marga that we had written until now, before the new ones are coming out, and the way that he wrote how he wants us to work, he says, I want you to learn how to work together. So that day that Guruji came to the dining hall to give this satsang, actually, we didn't invite him. He came as a surprise. He just came 10 minutes before the presentation and he said like, oh, what's going on here? I came to see my parrots because the parrots were in the dining hall. Narayani was there actually that day. So he just came and he said, oh, okay, so is something going on? Just start. So we start this presentation with him there and it was super beautiful. But again, it's not about the team doing it or the people, or it's just about coming together for something. And that is the most important thing. So if the attitude of coming together to spreading his love to the world is there, if it's the right attitude, you will see how miracles start manifesting. It's as easy as it looks like. It's like this. You send a first invitation to your friend that we will see later, a template. Then your friend actually asks, oh, thank you for thinking on me. This was the main answer. Thanks for thinking on me. I really need it. I would like to participate. And then you give them a link to register or to a group. We will see this detail later. And they said, okay, I will be there later, thanks. It's as simple as this, the invitation. And then the second part of this is what Guruji said about taking care of them. And this is the part of the satsang that he gave, saying about the importance of taking care of the people that we call.
So when you give what you have to others, of course, like you are saying, it's not just to give, it's also to water that seeds itself. Then this morning I think I was talking to Swami Aniruddha about that. And after you, yes, I was saying, it's good that we have all the people, but just to have one darshan is not enough. That communication is very important. So just to say, okay, I have done this, no, communicate with the people. Keep this flame inside of them burning. The same as this flame is burning inside of you. That flame, first you have to water it a little bit, control inside, but that flame keep burning. Otherwise, people go back into the normality. Okay, yes, I have wonderful time. It's like going to a party, you have a good time, the next day you forget about it, then you move on with your life. But spirituality is not about that. You know, it's about having this party continuously inside of you, all the time.
It's really beautiful, yeah? Then if you want, if you don't have this satsang, actually it was a nice satsang, we can share it later. So inviting is in effort wise is 10%, we'll say. And taking care is all the rest of your time, because sending the invitation will be like 20 minutes. But then of course, if you involve in conversations with them, they ask you questions, that requires time. And actually, for being honest, it's very enjoyable. When new people is telling you questions like, I don't know, why Krishna is blue, you know, or why these paintings, why the girls goes in one side and the boys in other side, because then they are looking the morning prayers. What is that funny haircut that you have? I don't know, they start with many questions, right? And it's cool because actually for the first time you can implement all of that you have been learning for years, or listening of stories of Guruji and academy, etc. Suddenly you can put it into practice. And in my case and in the guys here, it helped us a lot to improve our skills, let's say, because we never have been tested in what we know or what we don't know. So it was a nice experiment or a nice training or going deeper into the knowledge.
And some things that help a lot, that I saw it here, each of us here in SPN, is how help you this identification with this devotee, that you have identity, and to when you show, it's not just sharing with other devotees, is another way of telling to the new people from the outside people, I can say like this, and help somehow to ground more, eradicate. I feel more this connection with yourself and the devotee. Identities, I saw it, it's really amazing. Everybody feel it. And
yeah, your own identity actually changed. It's weird, like you are reaffirming that identity. This is actually a nice guideline. It's like a frame. These are all the statements that Guruji have done, mainly regarding this project, except the last one that he said during the Balakrishna talk. So the relationship is both sides. They need to do their part. And this is important. Of course, if the other people is not interested, we don't need to be there insisting them or spamming them. No? He's giving himself to everyone, and whoever answers the call, good. If they don't answer, it's also okay. Yes?
It also goes to indicate that, you know, you hold their hand in terms of your responsibility in the relationship, that you're holding their hand, but you're not dragging them there. They need to put their effort in towards engaging themselves with Guruji and with the path too.
Yes. Once you invite them, then the end of this will be when you connect them with the local Sangha or Swami. That will be like the end of your spiritual relationship, responsibility, let's say. Or, of course, if they don't want and they don't want to continue into the path, it's okay. But if they want to continue, Guruji say that it's in Sangha, the place that they will develop the connection with him. So Sangha as Seva, Sangha as a study group, doesn't mean as official Sangha. No, a place where regularly people meet in the name of Guruji for something related to him. So in that place, Guruji says it's like the safe zone where they will develop the connection. Actually, I have seen that with 3 of my friends. They are already in a Sangha in Argentina, and from my side, they write to me once a week a how are you message. Before was much more engaged in the conversation. And they are developing the connection. They start having dreams with Guruji. Like, Guruji is really there. I mean, he's really there. So in the end of this process, the ideal is that these people end up in a regular group in your country, committed to activities of Bhakti Marga and Guruji. Again, if they don't want, we don't insist. And a word of Guruji is one darshan is not enough. You hear it in the video before. So he said you need to water the seeds. And part of this watering the seeds is actually offering them more darshans. That is this modus that we have developed. Yeah, it's not only involving in conversations, but it's making easy for them that they can participate in more darshans. Because of course, a darshan is very strong. Could be that it's not enough one. That's why we got 3. Yeah. Communicate with them. Keep the flame burning. Otherwise, they go back to normality. And we have seen this. If they are interested and we don't answer that inquiry from them, they will just come back again to normality. Or we don't give them something to put the mind on. The day after the darshan or 2 days later, they will be again in the drama, in Maya. You need to care about them and to carry them until they are self-motivated. This is again the same. Until they are in a sangha or in a group, it's important that you are there for them. And what Guruji said during the Balakrishna talk, actually very nice that Adi Lakshmi found out, is he said, you are not here only for yourself. You are here as a service to others, to help others. And actually, Trivanab didn't say it, but when all of these projects start, the feeling was like, I feel that Guruji is already taking care of me. Like, I don't, it's not about doing more Kriya, more deep. He's taking care already. Like, the best thing that I can do now is actually try to help other people as I have been helping until now. And I think this summarizes that quite well.
I think I'd also underline that, now sort of, even at the time reflecting on this and how it felt to go through this process, that really it felt as though you really truly were an instrument, and it started us all thinking, that this is perhaps where we're being guided towards, that this is kind of the higher Dharma. And Swami Revati has mentioned it recently in one of his satsangs, that one verse at the end of the chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita, that is, Krishna sort of mentions, this is our ultimate, this is our highest dharma, is to spread the knowledge to other people. And so it really did genuinely feel as though this was that in play.
Yeah, and actually you will feel it when you start doing it, and you will start engaging the process. Something inside you will see how it wakes up. But let's leave it to your own experience, and in the next meeting you will share with us how it feels. Okay, now is the technical aspect of this. Until now was just blah blah. Now you need to wake up and pay attention. Okay? This is the technical part. It's only 3 slides, and in this part you need to grasp what Lakshmi Dasi will say. Hopefully, yeah.
So we've designed this with Narayani, and specifically with the UK in mind, and particularly in light of the fact that you have a country darshan coming up as well. So mainly this was previously thought in context of offering public darshans, but we've also put in place the first country darshan, and it makes the process for people slightly different, but we're also making it easy for you. We've done the hard thinking, and easy for the people that you invite, to make it look as seamless as possible, transitioning from that first country darshan and the registration there into the public darshans where they will get the direct link to Zoom. So in total, for your invites, they will be offered up to 4 darshans. You'll send your invitations. You'll send a maximum of 50 invitations each. And the reason that we've designed it that way is that you don't get overwhelmed with responses that you can't manage in your spare time. So you'll probably get around 10 or 15 people coming back, accepting your invitations if you send 50 out. The data seem to be fairly sort of predictable in terms of the responses that people got here, regardless of what country they were from or when the invitations were being sent out. So as I said, for that first darshan that you're inviting them to, you'll be inviting them to the darshan on the 25th of August. And if they accept the invitation, you'll then send them the link to register on your website, the new website registration link that you have now set up. We've designed templates for the messages that you'll send, and we'll come to that at the end. Then, if they've had the first darshan and they're interested in having another darshan, you'll then be sending them direct links to the public darshans. So they won't have to register. We'll have a different process. It's a different darshan, but again, they don't need to know that. We've made it easy for them to not get confused. So after the first darshan, we have a slightly different way of going about things. And this is in order to engage them in a group environment. Firstly, it will ease the process for you individually, because you won't have to send out multiple invites to multiple darshans individually to people. So they'll receive this in a group. You will send them a link to a WhatsApp group, and in that WhatsApp group, they will then get all the information they need for those public darshans. Further down the line, a little bit further down the line, in that group, they'll also be offered to participate in activities. And again, we're organising this with Narayani and Roshan, and it will most likely be Project Mantra. You won't be involved in that conversation. All of those invitations will take part in the group. So actually, the bulk of your responsibility will be made much easier, because the engagement will all be done in the group. It might be nice if you want to get in touch with them every now and then to see how they're doing, and so that you are a support. But this, we actually, as residents here, we didn't take this path. We were engaged with people on a completely individual basis all the way through the process for 2-3 months. But Russia implemented this kind of group strategy, and Lakshmi Dasi in Russia ended up with a group of 600 people in her WhatsApp group. And she took them through a process of Project Mantra on a daily basis, and it worked out really nicely for her. So we're going to implement that with you guys, and you know, and hopefully it works out for you as well. And as I say, the benefit of them in a group is that they get used to being in a group, so that when we transition them into all of our Bhakti Marga Telegram groups, they're not completely overwhelmed. And we can nurture them as newcomers in that group. They also share feedback after darshan. It's really sort of well sort of engaged. So yeah, it seems to work really nicely. However, we also have a backup option. So if people are nervous from joining a group, we will offer them, or you will offer them, that you will continue that one-to-one relationship with them, and you will send them the information after darshan, so that they're not dropping out of the process. That will most likely be less people than more people that you're engaging with directly. And again, we've got all the templates you need to send at every stage of the process to make that easy for you. We've done all the thinking.
Yeah, we will let you know at any moment. It's not that you need to put alarms or anything. We will be the alarm. We will let you know with Narayani.
And we'll send you the message you need to send.
Yeah. Then, of course, in all of this, you adapt the templates to your own way of how you communicate with people, right? It's not just copy paste. You personalize it how you want. It's not like a can. Yeah. Feel free to modify with your words.
So in terms of the personal relationship, it's not worth spending too much time on that now, but ultimately, just to know, it isn't supposed to be a personal relationship for life. You're not supposed to be carrying this person and having responsibility for them indefinitely. After 3 darshans, the aim will be, and we will help you through this process, that you transition them into Bhakti Marga activities that are otherwise taking place anyway, and that you transition them into your community, so that you aren't holding responsibility for them. They need to stand by themselves, and they need to become part of the community.
Can I summarize?
Yes.
So, for summarizing, country darshan of UK will be on the 25th. And so all the invitations that we will send from now on will be to invite people to this darshan. And we don't send them a direct link, we send them the web registration that UK have in place. Okay? After this, after the 25th, the next darshan will be on the 3rd of September. So after this country darshan of you, then we will, of course, we will let you know, don't worry, but in that moment, we will tell you, okay, now, after this darshan, communicate again with your seats, with the people that you have invited, and send them this template. That is a template that invite them to be part of option 1, a group. Yeah? And then this group will take care of them during the process of 3 darshans and will do activities with them until in the end, hopefully they end up in the Sangha. And if these people, they don't want to participate in a group, or you prefer by your own, taking care of them by your own, then you have the option 2, when the whole process is handled by yourself, until after the 3 public darshans, they end up with your country Swami or Sangha. I didn't mention Swami until now, and actually it's important. Guruji specifically said, send them to the country Sangha or the Swami. Yeah. So Swamini, I hope your agenda is free. Prepare. So these are the files that we need to know from now. We will send this, Narayani maybe, she will send it to the group, is templates. For now, we will send only the ones that you need. That is for the first invitation during the country darshan. Useful information for their questions. This is a file that we want you to explore by yourself. It's a list of topics with the best links we have found for that topic. So, for example, don't stress because it looks like a lot, but this just when you have 20 minutes free, just go through it. And actually enjoy the videos because the videos are really good. This is about the new webpage. Soon, Bhakti Marga will have a new webpage that I highly recommend you to use it because the information there is so clear exposed. There is videos, there is academic class for free, there is the 4 arms of the devotee journey. It's amazing, but it's not yet on. It will be in 2 weeks from now. So the first part, that is all text, all of this, is about the webpage. For that, you in 2 weeks will be relevant. So here we select for you topic, details, and the link to the YouTube or the other place. So topic about Guruji, darshans, mantra, meditation, and Makriya. Here you can find any topic, and then you can find the best link to it. Okay? So then by your own, you go COVID-19. If someone asks you of your friends what Guruji say about this, you have it even here. Okay? Then normal questions and answers. This is following the same idea, is that normal questions that you may have or that they may have. So if you need more information about Guruji, here you have it. About Hinduism, you have it here. About what Guruji again, about darshans. So the most frequent asked questions, you will have the answer here. So if you don't want to type or search in the web or write to Narayani asking, you may find it here. But actually, we would really like that when the people start writing you with questions, if you could forward these questions to the group of the Sangha, the Ambassador Sangha, because like that, you will help a lot to the group to grow in knowledge, because we will see what people is asking. And then because also Swamini is involved in the group, we may have the best answer for them. It happens to me many times that I answer something, and after sending it, I feel like, actually it's a really bad answer, you know? And now during the Sangha that we were doing here, when we bring these topics to the table, immediately you get a much better answer that you will find by yourself.
This is also really, it enhances the Sangha and it justifies the Sangha as well. So So the feedback, the responses, the whole sort of engagement process, you know, it can all be done on the Telegram group, but it's a beautiful part of the process, as you will see. You know, as soon as you get a wonderful response or even a negative response, and you just share it on the group, this is what the purpose of the Sangha is. It's about sharing all of your experiences and your engagement with people. So we really kind of would encourage you to engage as much as possible on this Telegram group, and then we'll be meeting regularly as well to do that as well. But use the Telegram group in the first instance.
Yeah.
And we'll be there to help you with responses.
Yeah. Please, use the group for asking the question. Like that really will help all the group. It's not only for you, it will help the group. So the fourth file is follow-up. This will be explained by Juan here. It's very funny to have Juan here between us. He's actually in the ashram, but he's part of you, of the Ambassador Sangha. I was kidding. Juan, you don't need to explain it. So this follow-up file, it's scary because you see a lot of information, but actually it's very simple. What you need to know is the first column that says invited, and the second column that says if accepted, right, group or one-to-one, is the next. You will invite friends, they will go to the country darshan, and after that first country darshan, you will invite them to a set of 3 public darshans. Yeah. So the column invited, you put the name of all the people that you have sent invitations. So here you should have at least 50 or more or less 50. And the second column, if accepted, right, group or one-to-one, is how are you handling them? Because for us, for learning what is better to do in a way that we come out to the countries, is very helpful. So sorry if it takes you a little bit more of time of how you will do it, if we will not give you this. But we really ask you your help, because if we find the best way of how to do it now, we can save a lot of time when we come to this with this project to Bhakti Marga worldwide.
I'd also say that this serves 2 purposes, this spreadsheet. It will help us, but it will also really help you, because if you spend a little bit of time being organized, you know who you're responsible for getting back to. If you haven't spoken to someone for 7 days, you can go and check whether you put them in the group. If you put them in the WhatsApp group, you don't need to get back to them. If you have a one-to-one relationship with them, you can send them a quick email, a quick Facebook Messenger request, just saying, hey, how are you doing? You know, how was your second darshan? So it's a quick register. And when you're managing, when you're looking after 10 people, in your spare time, you will forget.
Yes.
If you've got a memory like me, anyway.
Yeah.
And something that
Hi.
I have a question.
Yes.
This spreadsheet can be used also on the mobile phone, or it's just for the laptop application?
You can use the mobile, but wait,
if you have
this follow-up model actually is for yourself, because you have private information from your contacts. So this you don't share with us or with anyone. This is private for you. You will have a copy. And then if you have a Google Drive in your phone, you can edit it in your phone.
Perfect. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but the idea is this, you will keep it for yourself. Then we will want, what we will want is the one.
The number.
Yeah, the numbers, like the statistics, but the names of your friends, we don't want. You keep it for yourself as an organized file, but later we tell you what to do with it. Yeah?
Yeah.
For now, what is important for you is the column 1 and 2. Yeah, because the rest, there's direct link to darshan if they are in a group, normal registration for other country darshans in the future, what kind of information they are asking for about darshan, about experiences of testimonials of Guruji, or suddenly this is relevant to the website, information about philosophy, meditation, etc. Or in the green part of it, what kind of activities have you had offered to them or they were asking for? Yeah? So this, we don't need to go into detail now. Just remember column 1 and 2.
A and B.
A and B, sorry. And is the name of the people, the 50 people that you will send invitations. And if they accept it, put group or one-to-one after the country darshan. Yeah? So please familiarize with this. It's very intuitive. You just need to delete delete all the things that you see here, or you can keep them as an example. Yeah, but it's very intuitive, or any question also we can answer. Just remember column A and B for now. And then when we develop the relationship with our seats, then all the other part of the Excel spreadsheet can be used.
I have a question.
Okay.
You mentioned the first step is the country darshan, the 25th.
Yes.
That is kind of easy because the number of places is large. You know?
Yes.
But then the public darshan is very demanding. It takes a lot of time and effort to actually get a seat in the public darshan.
Yes, we have direct link to the public darshan, and we have been reserved places in the public darshan. You don't need
For
to
this
get
project.
for this project.
Ah, okay.
So for the public darshan, don't worry. The idea is that the country has 250 places reserved. That's why we said 50 invitations each, more or less. That will make that all of you will have between 10 and 15 people to take care individually or by a group, in a group strategy. And if you are between 10 and 25 people doing this, that means that we will have between 150 and 250 people. It's not so rigid, but more or less we have 250 reserved places for the public darshans of Bhakti Marga for the next 2 months. Okay, in every public darshan. That answer the question? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I skip templates because now we go to templates specifically. But remember, you have a toolbox where you have useful information, the normal questions that people is asking, and the follow-up file that you need to put the names of your friends and follow up what they are asking or what you are offering to them. Yeah?
Is everything clear?
Again, the file useful information for their questions and normal questions and answer. If we start posting in the Telegram group, what are the questions from your seats, that will allow at least Narayani to create of these 2 files something really useful for the future, at least for the UK. Because if we can summarize all the best questions and the best answers that we have, this will be information that we may use in the future with new people that they join to this. So you are the core group, it's starting with you. But in the ashram, start also with 7 people, and suddenly we end up being 80. So all the work that you do now, when more people join to the group in the future, the idea is that the information is not lost. And that's why it's very important to help Narayani to make of these files the best files for the new people. Is that clear? Or my English? Yeah.
We just have one question. Anura, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just had a little question. Sorry, you might have covered this already. You mentioned the 50 people, and is that 50 people over the 2 months that we're aiming for, or because I feel a little bit of pressure when the word number 50 came up.
Well, I mean, firstly, if you can't, okay, when I first sat down to think about doing this, I really, and I've tried before, you know, when someone has said invite your friends and family for Darshan, I thought of about 3 people that I could do that with, and then I ruled out 2 because I thought they wouldn't be interested. When I really sat down and did this differently and reflected and went through, and because I don't use Facebook at all, so I decided I would use email, and I went through my email contacts, and I ended up sending out 100 emails in one evening, and that was from literally 5 minutes before, thinking I could only think of 3 people. So firstly, this is sort of like, don't be fearful. There's no pressure on you to do anything, but I would just encourage you to sit quietly and look at your Facebook or your email in a different way. Remove the judgment, remove the expectation, remove the pressure, and don't imagine who you might contact and what they might feel about it or not. If you are in that comfortable space, you're giving the best opportunity for people to respond. And it doesn't matter if people don't respond. If they don't respond and you have asked in a gracious way, then you should be comfortable with that. It's fine. If you can't find 50 people, there's no pressure. This isn't about performance. It's not about delivery. It's about an experience for you. And it's about an experience for the people that you're potentially getting in contact with. But don't, you know, there's no hard and fast rule here. The reason is we've put a maximum of 50 people and 50 invites on this so that we are comfortable that you individually can manage those people that will come back and say yes. That's it.
Yeah. And I would...
Does that answer your question?
Yes, that's helpful, where the number is maximum 50 rather than aiming for 50.
Yes, yes. I mean, something that Gurji has told to me personally, and I think to many people, said, Aditya, the limitations are in your mind. And what I could experience here is actually what she was saying. 50, it looks like a lot at the beginning. And then 50 actually looks quite a small number. And this changed from one week to the other, because at the beginning we wanted 5. We say, okay, it's from this week to the next, let's find 5 people each. And that looks like a lot. And then this guy in the Sangha, this Prabhu, he say, why 5? You see, Guruji say we should aim for the top and we aim just for less. Let's do 50 each. And actually it's funny enough, because for next week, I got 50 people for darshan. 50 people, not 50 invitations, 50 newcomers for darshan. I said, like, man, like if you unblock that part of your mind that is, oh, it's not possible, like somehow it's possible.
It's true. And you see, even my response to Aditya, who has 3 million friends on Facebook and I have 2, you know, I could use that against me for being able to do this in the first place. And I said, you know, and again, it's as soon as I got my own mind out of the way here and just rechecked, you know, everybody knows people. Everybody, we all know people, even if we don't know them. And I was sending emails to people who I haven't seen in 15, 20 years and being very comfortable with doing that, where the day before I would have been petrified from my life about what type of response I would have got from someone I haven't spoken to for 15 years and don't really care about whether I hear from them or not. So, you know, of course, again, there is no pressure. If you really don't know 50 people, it's nothing. But this is the joy in this is to think differently than you might have thought that you could. That's the opportunity here for us all personally.
Yes. Look, in my case, 3 of these people, random, that I just send it because they are not even my friends. They are becoming devotees now. In 3 months. Like, one still thinking about it, one just became, and 2 are thinking on. But she's painting the tilak already, like super weird. And I was trying to explain, it's about the information I gave to them, it's about my charming. No, because actually I don't even speak too much to them. But actually Guruji came to their dreams after. And I will bring something that Guruji said. He said, there is many souls waiting for me out there. So somehow I think, and what we feel with this project is we open the door just a little bit, and suddenly it's like, blah, like a lot of people trying to come in, you know, that everybody's shocked, and then we stop it. But we opened the door for one day, and almost 2,000 people came in. Just an appreciation of what happened. And yeah, and hopefully, like, we do our part, but actually Guruji is doing a lot in the backstage. Yeah? Any other question?
We did have one, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just, one last thing is, for UK, there's this data protection in emailing people. I mean, family and friends wouldn't be a problem, of course. But for example, like other friends or client, so yoga students, etc., there was this thing about data protection to get their right to email them. I was just wondering, have you covered this? And this I know it might be another kind of a barrier thought, but this may be a practical thing just to clarify to me.
Yeah, so we have definitely we have cleared this with Partha, who's spoken to lawyers here, so that we absolutely are comfortable with what we're doing. So you are getting in contact with people that you already have their contacts. You send them one invitation. So it's a personal contact, you're not spamming them. You send them one invitation, and if you don't hear back from them, you don't force them. You're not sending any more information, so it can't possibly be seen as spam. If they come back to you, you're then giving them information and a means to register for the Darshan. So that means you have a personal relationship, you have a personal communication with them. It is one-on-one. You're not group emailing people or messaging people. This is only in relation to contacts that you already have, so it meets privacy policy.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Yeah, sorry, I just have one more question just on the back of what Lisa's just said. So what happens if we wanted to contact some of the followers on our Facebook page for Bhakti Marga UK? We're not connecting with them on a personal Facebook account, but you're connecting with them on a official Facebook account. Would that be classed as spamming?
You mean with the Facebook account of Bhakti Marga UK to send personal messages to all of them? I don't know. I can try to find that answer for you, if it's okay. I think, no. I prefer to find the answer and then I come back to you to that. No, this system is actually something different, okay? Because it's not, I think it's more about the marketing strategy of UK, but I'm happy to collaborate. But this project is something different. It's you to your friends, you a person, not you Bhakti Marga. You a person to your friends, you extend invitations to receive the dash. Yeah? Yeah, or?
Yeah, Sonam, I think, if you want to, we can have a kind of a separate conversation about this, but as Aditya said, that isn't what this is aimed at. And we'd also have to be careful about those people, because this is clearly a case where people haven't had darshan before. This is all about people having their first darshans. So followers on the Bhakti Marga UK site, that might not be the case for, but yeah, let's have a separate conversation if you want.
Okay, so the importance of doing it into Sangha, and also the concern of Bhakti Marga that because we will start to relating with people outside, we decide to do we call it training, but it's not training. It's actually coming together and being inspired by some topics. For example, the next week, we would like to invite you to this workshop with Aruni, and also Latin America will be also in the same meeting, but separately, like in a different room with their translator. And Aruni has a nice workshop of how to summarize your story of how Guruji changed your life in 90 seconds. So this is super useful because when you get engaged in a conversation with someone, the main thing that may pop up is like, how Guruji changed your life? No? Why are you following this guy, this Indian guy? Why are you spending so much time with these people? And actually, Aruni is very helpful to help you to actually understand your own story, to join the knots of your story, and that in 90 seconds, you are able to actually tell your story to someone without boring them into details. It's like, no, this happened. These are the changes that happened in my life. These are the experience, like the experience that changed everything. And it's very, very useful for this project. Then Swami Aniruddha, he has a module of no more than 40 minutes. It's actually 20 minutes, but there is always questions and he's late normally. So let's say 40. No, I'm kidding. So he agreed to come and he speaks about responsibility, humility, about the enthusiasm in the spiritual path. And how important it is to be enthusiastic with what we are doing. And Guruji say the same. The spiritual path should be a party. And we need to invite people to this party. It's not like, yeah, come to suffer with us while we are in a process. No, it's like of course we all have process, but actually there is a nice part of being in the Hinduism spiritual path. Yeah, and Swami Aniruddha summarized that really well. Swami Kuru about the importance of Sangha, of working together, and all his experience during the Sangha trainings, that now they want to do it with all the devotees worldwide to give the same facilitator training, because it's actually amazing. It helps you to understand all the beginning of Bhakti Marga with experiences of part of people that are with Guru since 20 years. Kadambari and Sham about caring about other people and about the devotee journey. That is the next big project of Bhakti Marga that is coming. Rishi Akash, how the scriptures actually, it will help to understand, because this project of inviting people, of bringing people to the path, is something that is root actually in your essence as a devotee. And you will feel it this week when you start sending invitations. You will feel the change that is happening inside. Really, I don't want to contaminate your experience, but you will feel that. And I would like to summarize in the end of the week or the next week what was actually happening when you were doing this. And that's why we want Rishi Akash to give the scriptural reference, because this is part of who you are. And when you will start doing this, you will start feeling things inside. And that you will be feeling, it has a why. It's not just because. So all of this training, we would like to go with you, but in a joyful way. Let's meet together once a week on Sunday, half an hour, 40 minutes. We bring someone to talk about, we share our experience, and we keep the Sangha spirit. Because the main thing of this is not, oh, I need to do something else for Bhakti Marga. Man, I have like 20,000 things and I need to do one other thing. No. It's like, guys, let's come together to something that is enjoyable. And as happened here, actually, it's a side effect, not so positive, but we didn't care about anything else. This was so amazing that actually we lose interest in everything else. So you need to be careful, because if this happens, you also need to do other things, about normal life, cook for yourself, seva. So yeah, you will see. Like the main thing is you need to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, I will tell you don't do it.
But actually the enjoyment came.
Yeah,
the enjoyment came because you get one response, out of the 9 responses that you don't get, it's the one that you get where someone is just saying, thank you so much for thinking about me. I've been doing this and this and this since, and oh my God, your timing is perfect. And oh, this is so wonderful. That feeds you in a way that you just we're leading the witness here, but it's just so wonderful.
Yeah, and it's also this thing like, oh yeah, let's bring people to Guruji. That is a sect. Actually, no, we need to bring people, we need to bring Guruji to the people, because people is needing it. Like the world is in crisis. And then they receive the experience and they are crying, and I say like, what is this? Why I'm crying? And then you say like, wow, and then you start crying with them, because actually they touch you. That people that outside, they're like, you see the faces in the Zoom. I come here when it's the darshan, I come inside of the operation center, and you can see the people faces before, and when Guruji comes, and how the whole expression of their face changed, how they start crying. New people, they have nothing to do with this. So you are giving a present to them. And that's the mindset. It's not, we are not converting people, we are not bringing people to Guruji. No. It's like people outside is needing help, and Guruji is that help. And that's the mindset, and try to have that in mind and then go out. If you feel like, no, I'm doing a duty because I need to bring people to my Guru, just don't do it, because I don't think you can enjoy it with that. Like you are doing it for the people outside, and that's the reality. And this is what we feel here. And when the people start answering you, and they're super thankful, and like, what is this? And then probably, I don't know, 1 of 100, you change their life. They came out of Maya, of drama. And now this feeling of that they were not protected, they were alone their whole life. And now they don't feel alone anymore. They have someone that they feel that is with them all the time. Man, that's the biggest present you can give to someone. I don't know, it's amazing. Like you will experience it. So it's your experience. We invite you to have your own experience, and then, and at the same time, in the moment that you want to step out, is everything okay? If that's the case. That's it. Yeah, more questions?
Right, get your address book out. Off we go.
Okay. Now, look, we have 10 more minutes officially. We would like to see the first template to work on. And this Lakshmi will go with you.
I'm going to send now on the group the first templates that you can use. So I'm sending on the UK Ambassadors group. That's done. If you can all access Telegram and open that document. The first three, there's template 1. This is your initial invitation. And we've given you 3 options of things to send. You can use any of these 3 options and you can tailor them to how you speak. This is basically about inviting them to Darshan. We've got longer versions and shorter versions. So maybe we'll just, if you can you all see these now? Anyone that can't see them? So maybe we'll just give you 2 minutes to read through.
Yeah, let's read through, I think, the 3 of them. Like by themselves.
Read them out.
No,
yeah.
by themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Read them all through yourselves, and then we'll take you through what you've read.
The option 1 to 3 is going from more formal to more relaxed, friendly. And then this, you take what it really feels more inside of you, and then you write it with your own words.
After option 3, so template 2A, up to template 2A, you don't need to read from template 2A on. That's yeah. Later. Just option 1,
and
2,
that's
3.
here in big, what is the script?
So, everyone had a chance to read through them? So firstly, the yellow highlighted bits obviously are for bits that you fill in yourself. One of the things that we have found is really important throughout the process is the sense of personalization. So firstly, it's really great for you to personalize these and create your own with these templates. But use as much or as little of these that you want to copy and paste from. The essence of these is that they should be grounded. We've introduced the word blessing firstly because most people don't know what a darshan is necessarily, but then we use darshan so that we can use it going forward. So there's a kind of a thought process that has gone behind this that hopefully makes sense for you and that you can follow. The text in pink is all about the mechanics, and as much as possible, if you can use that pink text in whichever option that you send out. That will be helpful for you and helpful for the people that you're sending the invitation to, so as not to confuse them with what happens next. If you want to, it's always best, as I say, going back to the idea of personalization, to involve something about your own story. So you'll see in option 1, it says include a short bit about you and your life, particularly as it relates to what you've been doing since you last saw that person, or in relation to what you're doing with Bhakti Marga. That's always really nice. Any questions?
I've got one quick question about if you've already contacted 1 or 2 people and they've not actually taken the darshan because of bad reasons, why not? It seems like any of these options are ideal to send to anybody you've already been in contact with, but can you still include them within this kind of initiative?
Yes, and actually, I mean, the biggest sort of people that responded from me, and again, it's like, it just goes to show, don't have any expectation. I think what you should do is tweak the template appropriately depending on when you last offered them. But I had more people than I would imagine who I have absolutely offered darshans to before. I mean, all my yoga crowd, who I have spoken to many times about darshan, and many of my receptionists who have never shown an interest in before came back to me and said, oh my God, it's wonderful to hear from you. Guess what I've been doing in my life since? The timing is perfect for this.
And does option 3 look like the most likely one that you'd send to the short friendly?
Really do, Anand, what you feel. I think this is about what you read and you reflect upon feeling is right for you. It's got to sound as if it came from you. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, by the way, these 3 is actually originally 3 answers made by 3 different people that actually work out really well. But
yeah,
it doesn't mean that you need to copy and paste, because just write it how you normally express. You know, even with, if you don't write perfectly with the commas, and it's okay, because it's your friends, your way to communicate, or your acquaintances. I will tell you, take the one that probably, look, the most important, I don't know if you told them, is this pink area. You told them already?
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be there, because that
we've thought about the whole
with the
process.
next of the process. If this is not there, you are taking a leg out of the process, because in the second templates, if this is not there, it will be like, it will not work. So the pink part, try to respect it even with your word. But for example, putting the right date, the time, is via Zoom, it's for free, and it's around 15 minutes, because that's the blessing actually, it's 15 minutes, but then you can offer them to be 30 minutes before. This, it worked out really well with the people. So please try to keep it as much as possible. And then the rest, again, as you feel.
But yeah, I mean, just to kind of reinforce what Aditya has said, I mean, these were templates that everyone here used, and others were adapted and things. And so these were refined over a period of time, and we've incorporated pieces of this that proved to generate a positive response. So they're grounded, they don't immediately refer to darshan, they refer to a blessing. They speak about Guruji in a sort of in a grounded way. It's not kind of overwhelming people with what Bhakti Marga is. When it refers to Bhakti Marga, it's talking about you know, you're not your thoughts. It's not talking about a Hindu organization. It's accessible for people. So these things have been thought about, as Aditya said, the fact that it's free, the fact it's via Zoom, all of these things are kind of preparing people for what they're going to experience. But all of that said, you know, use your own initiative.
So what you're saying is it's recommended to use these templates because they've been kind of well thought out and everything. But if you need to, you can sort of edit them and add or take away as needed.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing, Shez, is because this is personal, you're contacting people personally one-to-one. So even if you're using all of the information in those templates, maybe rewrite it so it's clear it's come from you, not from an organization. That's really important. You know, it has to be your voice. Even if you use all of the information, just tweak it so it comes from you, you know. As Aditya said, take out a comma. Don't use capital letters, however you make it yours.
And if it's coming from me, it's got to have bad grammar and spelling mistakes and everything, though.
That's I'm that politely.
Sorry, Narayan, I will share again the screen. I don't have the permission. Yeah. Okay. So these are the next steps for the group, for the Ambassador Sangha. Prepare your own invitation using template 1. Send invitations out, and this is a crucial point because it would be really nice if we can do it together. At least even if meanwhile you're doing, we just come together to Zoom, we put Om Namo Narayana playing in the back, and we are just there together for half an hour, sending invitations out. Even that, creating that space, you will see, is very effective. Those people who accept it, and this is important, you send X invitation. Many people will not even come back to you, many people will come and say no thank you, but many people will say yes, thanks. To those people, after they answer you yes, then you give them the web registration link.
And that is in template 2A. So it's a simple template that we've created, but it's all there done for you. So again, it's a copy and paste, and you can add or not whatever you want to that. But that is also in the document that you've got on that.
Yeah,
on the Telegram group.
Yeah, it's very basic. It is thanks for getting back to me. Yeah, thanks for getting back to me. That's a great news. You can register using this link. Yeah, so that's a template, as you can see. It's just the right answer. But then again, you just put your words. The important you give him the link or her. Yeah. The most important from this is don't send the link with the invitation template, because that will mess up the whole process. Okay, not with the first one.
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yeah, don't send that web registration link in the first invitation, because you want to know who said yes. That's the simple reason why, is you want to know who is going to take Darshan. So the easy way to know that is not including the process by which they can register.
Yes.
So you wait to get the response yes, and then you send the web registration link in that template 2A.
Yeah. Now, we have an exception here. If the people cannot make it for this darshan, because they will say, no, 25, I'm out, I'm traveling, I'm playing the whole day, then...
But I'd love to do it.
Yeah, but I would like to try it. Please let me know if there is another date. Then you use it, the template 2B, that you skip the country darshan of the UK, and you go straight forward to the public darshan on the 3rd of September. So you will see, it's intuitive, no? Like they say, no, okay, you do this, they say, yes, you do that. But it's clear until now.
And then, sorry,
for the
for the public darshan, we contact Narayan to get a place out of this.
No, don't worry, just in case. If they come to you saying, I cannot for this date, offer them the template 2B, that it says, templates 2B, and you see it's all pink because it's important. This is connecting with everything else. Please read it by yourself.
Okay, so for the public, they don't need to register.
No,
right.
Absolutely. So you're making it as easy as possible for them. But they can't make the country darshan, they come back, they say can't make it, but they'd love to experience darshan. Then you say, no problem, we've got these darshans for you in the next dates. We've got, in fact, you can have, even better, you can have 3 darshans. And we can register for you. All you need to do is join this WhatsApp group, and the direct links will be there. It's a very easy process, and you can participate in 3 darshans through this group. If you don't want to join that group, that's fine. I can send you the links myself, but it's much easier for me if you would be willing to join that group. Then everything will be there for you.
Yeah, so we offer them to participate in a group for the 3 darshans, but if they don't want, we give them the option here in the bottom, at the bottom, that if they don't want to join a group for whatever reason, you commit yourselves to give them the information and the links in a one-to-one, in a private way. That's why you are an ambassador. If they don't want to participate in a group, you are there for them. We try to simplify everything for them, yeah? So that means at the beginning will be a little bit more of work for us, but you will see it's actually not so much. And they will for sure join the group because you are telling them, please, for me it's easier if you do it like this, yeah?
So if there are any questions now, that's fine. If you go away and you feel that you know, there's something about this process so far that you don't understand, that's also fine. You can ask us questions on the Telegram group. We're all there on the Telegram group, so we can engage at any point. The support will be there. But this, the templates 2A and B will actually only be relevant after people start responding to you.
Yes.
So the most important thing is that you go away and you prepare your own invitation in a way that you're comfortable with, get ready to send it, and you start to reflect upon, you know, maybe whether you have 50 people that you can think you might like to send this invitation to and how you're going to get that to them, whether it be Facebook or email. Anything is fine.
And it's possible for you to meet on Wednesday night for half an hour to send the invitations, or at least whoever can. It would be nice if all of us we can meet together Wednesday, I don't know, 8 p.m. UK time. And as I said, we put music. You have already your template. Meanwhile, these days you can share your template in the group or to check. But I would say also, just choose 5 people that you really don't care if they say yes or no. Like, let's say the faraway people. And during these days, between now and Wednesday, try your template. Try how it feels to send it to someone. And you will see actually, then you will read it again, or the people will answer something and you will say, oh, I forgot to put this actually. So take just 5 random people in your Facebook list of hundreds, and people that actually you don't care what they say. And
or
try,
6. Or your Facebook list of 6.
Yeah, maybe. But by the way, Kailash, the facilities coordinator, he didn't even have Facebook for years. So he opened the Facebook account and he brought 7 people for Darshan. And he's a hermitage?
A hermit.
A hermit. So yeah, grab 5 people that you don't really care what they will say about you, about your past. Just 5 random people in your Facebook that if they don't want, it's okay for you. And send them the template number 1 once you have worked on it. So that's the task from here to Wednesday. At least send the invitation, the template number 1 to 5 people. Yes? And please share in the group what's going on. We will have of all the kinds.
Yeah, so share your templates, you know, just kind of get people's feedback. Let's just start kind of sharing things on the group. It's a really nice way to go.
Is that clear?
So, I have a question.
Yes. Okay.
For you just mentioned Facebook contact. I'm assuming that we're sending like a messenger message to them in
Yes.
the email form, but just pasting it across onto a messenger message.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, in any
Facebook
form,
Messenger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You go to your Facebook Messenger list, you open it, and I start from A to Z. That's what my strategy.
Make sure when you're copying and pasting things, just be really careful when you're copying and pasting that you don't copy somebody else's name at the top. You know, I made that mistake once.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah. Please try not to make that same mistake that I did.
Now, if that happens, you write to them like, sorry, I'm inviting many friends and I confuse the name. You just go straight forward with the truth. That helps.
So yeah,
and, can I also ask, I've been talking with a couple of friends just about Darshans, and I've actually verbally invited and on Facebook friends already for the 25th of August. And one particular friend said that she's working that day, but she's interested, like what the example that you said. So she's already in the, like, she didn't need an email, but I still need to follow up. So can I tweak that option be pink text to message her?
Yeah, because it's that. If you prefer, let's put it like this. If you prefer to call them for inviting them, if you prefer to do a video of yourself and forward to your messenger friends, if you prefer to go to their house and inviting them, it's okay. This is how we use it, but we live in an ashram. For us, the reality is different. We have this. The idea is that you communicate with the people and you invite them, yeah? And yeah, of course you can use these people that they already confirmed to you. Yeah, it's okay.
Any other questions?
Just one thing to clarify then. So before Wednesday, we send out 5 invitations. But do we prepare a list of potential people before Wednesday that we can send the invitations out to if we're going to do it together on Wednesday?
Yeah, that's good. Unless you can kind of do it on the hoof, then yes, definitely. Yeah, just come ready with a template on Wednesday. You don't have to send out 5 if you don't want to before Wednesday. We can all do it together. But the things that you should do for Wednesday is to get your invitation ready. It might be different for different people, so you might need to do some tweaking according to who specifically you're sending it to on Wednesday. But just have something as a starting point that you're ready for Wednesday. And yeah, I mean, up to 50 people that you want to send this to.
Yeah, if you need to have a list in order to do that, yeah. If you are more like spontaneous style, yeah, just bring your Facebook list and then you grab.
I think the English need a list. The Argentinians don't need a list.
And this works for text messages as well, doesn't it? Because I've not got email addresses and I don't do Facebook.
Absolutely, text, WhatsApp, anything.
Look,
yeah, just one-to-one. No group texts.
I have a Ananda, something funny. I have a group from the university. They are eat meters, alcohol drinkers, like the worst. But actually, they're really cool people. So I stay in that group because I love them, and I send them the invitation with a story of a friend, of how Guruji transformed the life of this friend. And so, of course, the 7 days are laughing at me, no? But it's cool. It's like the kind of relationship we have. But one of them told the story to his wife. And then the wife showed some interest, and she wrote to me. She received darshan, and she went completely nuts for Guruji. She was already in SRF, engaged. She wants to know about Yogananda. And suddenly, like 3 weeks later, she sent me a video with her 2 daughters singing the oldest one of 7-year-old, singing Om Namah Shivaya, like crazy singing. The most younger one, 4-year-old, Om Namo Naya, and singing and clapping. And she also like dancing with them in the house. And I could see the group of the university of these guys talking about politics, COVID, sadness, cruelty, and how suddenly the seed of love of Guruji was already in the house of one of them, like everybody dancing and enjoying. And now she started working on him, because now she's saying like, hey, it's okay if you want to eat meat, but I will not cook it for you, you know? And so things are shifting. And then for the guy at the beginning was like a nightmare, he hates me, but now he's like, oh, okay, I will try it, you know? And now he's changing him. So the way that Guruji find a way is super, super funny. So yeah, WhatsApp groups is also allowed. University groups allowed, yeah.
Can we share on the group the response that Lakshmi Dasi took from her phone on the WhatsApp group with all the hearts and everything? Okay. Kind of the feedback of 300 people having received darshan on her, new people receiving darshan on her WhatsApp group, and Lakshmi Dasi sent us a clip. We'll show it to you.
I don't know if you can see
if we get anything like that as a response in England, I think we all deserve a special prize, because anyone dancing or singing Om Namah Shivaya after a week, you know, then in England is...
Can you see? Or you see in the presentation? It's in Russian. We don't know what they say, but it seems this was exactly Russian. 150 people sending hearts. And I forward this to Guruji, and Guruji answered, that's good. Yeah. So yeah, and at the same time, I don't know, like for being realistic and grounded, some of the messages that I wrote to people that I didn't know, they just wrote with a thumb down, you know? Like, So I guess, okay, this means that they don't want. So we start sharing with the guys here, like, oh man, I got 5 thumbs up. And then he said, oh, I got 6, you know, and we start, and even that, like, of course, some people, they will not be interested in it, but it's okay also. It's okay, because you are not forcing anyone. You just offer something. If they don't want, it's okay. And if you are okay with it, actually, then you are okay with everything. Okay, so for the next meeting on Wednesday, we try to send 5 invitations, okay, to the people that you will not care at all what they answer. Yeah, you try your template. And then on Wednesday, we send the other 45 invitations, and we will have already some answers to share.
If you can't, I mean, ideally you make Wednesday. If you can't make Wednesday, then, you know, send them yourself in the week. We'll be getting together again on Saturday for the workshop with Aruni. And there's a chance that you can ask us questions there. And then, you know, just to emphasize again, we're here and available for you to hold your hand through the process if you've got questions on the Telegram group as well. So if you can't make Wednesday, send the invitations.
Yeah. Also, if you have spontaneous groups, like suddenly one of you says like, hey guys, I will start sending invitations now, someone wants to join, and suddenly you create a Zoom and you have a subgroup of people that at that time they are available and they just join. Just with 2 or 3 gathering my name, I will be among them, right?
Yeah.
So just, and enjoy it, please enjoy it, okay? If this is like, oh man, I need to do this, just don't do it, leave it for later, yeah? Try to enjoy it.
That's it, we're done.
Yeah. Sorry, we passed. Hey, quite. Okay, 50 minutes. Sorry.
It's not bad for an Argentinian.
Yeah, actually, it's quite good.
That's on time.
Yeah. Thanks for your time. And any questions, please, in the group or to Narayanan. That will help to develop the group, how the group works. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks to you.
I just wanted to thank everyone and thank you. I think I found your enthusiasm completely contagious. It's wonderful. And it's like a pandemic, contagious 108 pandemic. It's like we're in a new pandemic of contagion, 108. So let's start another wave of a pandemic. The third wave of the pandemic.
Yeah. No, the waves of love, you know, it's funny. I think Guruji is just going with the finger like this and sending waves of love 1, 1006, wave of love 2. Now is waves of, we are called 1008 Seeds of Love in UK. I like the name. Actually, it was not that bad.
Yeah, I think that came from Shez. Shez has added a kind of a little bit of flair to what was just 1008 seeds. So yeah.
Seeds of Love is, yeah. Exactly
you have your own wave now with love, particularly infused into it.
Yeah. Now you will feel Guruji during the process, actually closer than ever. So yeah, it's him. For us, it's super clear, and hopefully it will be clear for you also.
Yeah, we can't wait to hear how it goes.
Thank you so much. I hope that we see everyone on Wednesday, and I'll send the link out on our group. It's great. Thank you.
Bye all.
We close with some Shanti.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Friends, follow Satgurudeva Swami Namaha. Prabhu ki Jai. You're cakey. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
See, it's key.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jai Gurudev.
Nanda, ciao, ciao.
Thank you.